Morning, Jay here from I Wonder UK, day 53 of the Southwest Coast Path Challenge. Yesterday I was trying to get about halfway through between Lulworth Cove and Swanage. My knee was playing me up all day, cut it a little bit short, and I'm about a mile this side of Chapman Pool. This morning I've got to get over to St Albans Head over there, but first of all I need to get up this one here and pack away this here. But the sun's coming through now. It's been blustery all night, so I've had a lot of rest but not so much sleep. It's just one of those nights when it's just snatching at the tent all night. Not super strong, but just enough to sort of keep you awake. But we'll see how we get on. My knee's still giving me jip, and I think because my right knee's been giving me jip, I'm walking funny. Now my left knee's going as well. But it's penultimate day. I've got today, I want to get through to Swanage. I was going to stop short of Swanage, but that would leave me with about, I think it's 7.5 miles the last day. And if I stop short of Swanage, it's going to add another 2.5, 3 miles, so that'd be like 10.5. And I'd really like to be at the ferry for about 12 for tomorrow on the finish, because then from there, I need to catch the ferry over, get a bus to Poole train station, and from there a train home. So that's what I'm trying to aim to do. I haven't really got a target for the other side of Swanage. I think a wing and a prayer, but it's the last night. What's the worst that can happen? As long as you can live with that, then it's all good. Do you ever have those mornings where you've got no time frame to get away when you're packing up in the morning, so you can just take all the time you like? And for some weird reason, everything just goes straightforwardly and you can pack away super quick, even though you don't need to. Bizarre. And I guess that's why. I guess because you're not under any pressure, you just go back into muscle memory or whatever and sort it out and go. There must be a moral in the story there somewhere. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe don't put so much pressure on yourself. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a quick refresher. This is where I was last night. This is where I'm going. Going down through these trees, up the zigzag, up there, across the top of there, round Chapman's Pool, which is the other side, along that headland there, down the dip, which you can't quite see, and out to the down into Chapman's Pool. There's a lot of steps, and a lot of them were washed out. So there's like 5 or 6 inch gap between and the wind's whistling down the valley trying to blow me that way. Nearly there now though, about 3/4 of the way down. As you drop down those steps, perhaps drop down is not a good expression. As you come down those steps down to Chapman's Pool, or your first sighting of Chapman's Pool, you need to cut sharp left, go over this pasture land, right the way across, and then down to the road, and then a left at the end of this tarmac, I guess, onto this chalky drive, and we're going inland a little bit more. We're still cutting inland, but that's a quick view of Chapman's Pool, and there's the steps we came down before. After you drop down those steps that I was talking about earlier, I think you're first sighting the Chapman's Pool if you need to, and that's not a bad bit. That's nearly halfway on the Lulworth to Swanage bit. If you need to wild camp overnight, there's plenty of flat spots around there. The problem is it's running down a valley. If you come down a little bit further, it tucks around another bit, and there's plenty of grass on the side. Again, little bit of wind, but you can tell now there's no wind here. I've just come down the other side of that valley and it's just blowing me ears ragged. Another quick look back. The edge of that cliff there is the steps coming down. You can probably see the wall mark in the field going directly across, and then you follow this path in past a couple of houses and come back on yourself. And it's a gradual coming uphill, no steps. But I think I've got about another mile and a half till I get out to St Albans Head, and I know there's another drop, so got to get going. Back to Chapman's Pool from the other side. That's what we come up this morning. I was camped on the other side of that. Here's the next dip town we need to get past, and back up the other side to get out to St Albans Head. I think there's quite a lot of steps there. I'll show you them when I get closer. I just remembered I didn't say I met a bloke called Tim. Literally started yesterday, or maybe the day before. No, yesterday. This is the camped at a wind spot. Tim, he's got a solar panel on his back, which I thought was a good idea. And we just exchanged pleasantries, quick stories, because we both got packs on there. And I said to him, you need to be slightly cautious as you go up the next hill, because the steps, the wind's coming down the valley and blowing you off. Just don't. And his friend said, oh yeah, but it'll be okay, there's a banister or a handrail, isn't there? And I just realised what he was referring to. The top of these steps, there is a handrail about 2/3 of the way down. It's the first time I've seen one like that, so I unfortunately had to say to him, well, there's a piece of string for about 5 metres, and then after that, there is none. Here we go, this time we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to do that. You can count them yourself. Few more headlands to go yet. I think this was my second choice, but I've been going for about 2 hours, 2 hours 15. There's no way I would have got here, but I was considering getting underneath that. Nice. Still windy, as you can tell. I don't want to jinx it, but I just noticed my knee stopped clicking about 20 minutes ago. For the first good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, my knee was clicking. I felt like a one-man band. With my poles, they're worn through the rubber stoppers on the end, so they click when you hit any stones. My knee clicking on every right step. The osprey's squeaking again, and I think it's my first aid kit that's rattling on the inside. And then add to that your heartbeat when you're going up the steps. Boom, 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 click, click. I'm thinking of adding a harmonica to the back of my rucksack so I can just flip it over. Perhaps a red nose, be a busker. Not a bad way of earning money. Perhaps not out here. kinds of steps, different grades. They're made out of different material: granite, stone, concrete, wood, mud. These are what's known as 1-2s. You got 1, 2, 1, 2, and then drop down on your knee. 1, 2, 1, 2. Third one. I think that might be the normal ladder. I think the other ones have been darker than that. This seems a bit slower, maybe because it's a bit cooler this morning. I'm going to have a little moan here, so if you don't want to listen, just fast forward it 30, 40 seconds, whatever. But I'm literally 20-30 minutes from Winspit. There's a multitude of footpaths going down to there. Coastal path goes down there, another footpath. There's somebody, I think it's a Hillyberg Solar, I want to guess that, pitched up on the side of the hill there. It's 10 to 12. It's a shelter. Stopping it, wild camp, no one can see you. Get gone in the morning. Please don't spoil it for the rest of us. I had the same experience about 6 years ago. I converted a van to a camper van. I could literally go anywhere. Got away with everywhere and anywhere in England. And in Spain particularly, even on the beaches. 5 years later, it's become fashionable. Everybody, man and his dog's got a VW T5. They're willing to spend 30, 40,000 pounds on. And you can't park them anywhere. You're getting more and more restrictions. Even in Spain a couple of years ago, beaches and places where you could park and have been able to park for years have got no motorhome parking now. Please don't spoil it. It's called wild camping. It's a shelter, not a holiday home. 10 to 12, you should have been gone hours ago. Get out there. Fortunately for us at this stage of the game, as in penultimate day and tired, fatigue, etc., the path and the path committee have been kind to us, and from Winspit out to Dancers Ledges is just gentle undulation, just slightly up, slightly down, basically following a contour around the top of the first cliff. That might change in a little bit, but it's been like this for a while and it's lovely. Don't get me wrong, it's still very, very pleasant to be walking along. The wind's out, it's keeps dying down and then coming back, but the sun's coming out stronger now to outweigh it. A couple of miles from Durston Head, the path does go a little bit more uppy downy, but I mean, not uppy downy, it's just instead of smooth, you don't realise you're doing it, like little pimples. And the path's slightly more rockier. It's not like you need to find your footing, just have a look down occasionally, make sure you don't punt a stone. Just taking 5 by the 2 mile markers on the way to Durston Head Point, whatever, those two. And just airing the feet. I'm looking out to sea all the time because the book says I might be able to spot, well, I will be able to spot lots of birds, but maybe dolphins. And that would just make this trip peach. That would be the cherry on the cake. But I'm forever hopeful. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Cliffs in the distance there, but I don't think I'm going to be exploring them. I come around the next headland and then head into Swanage, so maybe another time. Just taking a walk around the world, well, the globe. Still trying to look out for dolphins. Nope, still haven't seen any. Some sometimes wonder why you do things to yourself. I just see two perfectly legitimate coastal path signs. One says steps to Swanage, the other says avoiding steps to Swanage. Now which one is it? Yeah, of course I did. Silly not to at this stage, wouldn't it? That's not such a good one though. Casually. I'll put this away before I go all the way down. A little drop down into the woods. God, you can instantly feel the relief. It's not that hot today. I've only had my windshield off for about an hour or so. It's still warm, you know, when you're walking. As soon as you walk under these trees, you feel the difference in temperature, and it's a lovely cool. Is that the Isle of Wight I can see up there? Please tell me. Definitely looking after me. Last day Swanage, came out of Swanage about 6:15 and I was walking up this path thinking, like you can see, look, that way goes for about, I don't know, 40-50 metres, then nothing on either side, running out, and then I just noticed in here a little bit of woodland on one side, and what do you know, there's me tucked away in there. Good pitch as well, if I do so myself.